film.
We have such sights to show you.
Welcome back to The Devil Made Me View It, horror podcast. I'm Jesse Spitzer.
And I'm J.R. Lees.
And today is week 2 of our coverage of all things Evil Dead. Of course, we're covering Evil Dead 2. And
Dead by Dawn.
Yeah, yes. This is my first time watching it from beginning to end, which is so insane after having now seen it that I haven't watched this once a month for my whole life. Because
if there's a movie that just screams you,
yeah.
You know, and not like, oh, that like you like some people walk around and they've seen Taxi Driver way too many times.
Sure.
But as far as a movie whose sensibilities are just your sensibilities.
Yeah. It's like,
this is the one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, do you want to just like sit down for an hour and a half and just have fun nonstop the entire time? And so I absolutely love this movie. And I had seen a lot of it prior, but never like in one sitting all the way through. I watched it with the wife. She loved it.
Good.
Yeah. Let's do it like a little bit of, I guess we'll just talk the plot a little bit. It's weird coming off the first movie because, and I believe it's because of like legal reasons, right? That they had to
rights issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had the rights to the title and the characters, but not any footage.
Yeah.
So for Raimi to make 2, he had to just basically remake, to have flashback shots. He had to remake them from bits of Evil Dead, Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is it's a little odd going from one to the next, but I actually really liked the little short version of the first plot in this movie. It's a lot more. So this movie, much like the first movie, starts out with Ash, and this time it's just his significant other, just the two of them, going to the cabin in the middle of the woods. They find the tape recorder. They find the Necronomicon. Spooky shenanigans happen, and yeah, I mean, it pretty much follows beat for beat the first movie, up to and including the final shot of the camera going into Ash's face, and we finally see what happens next. And then as the plot goes on, it kind of opens up. Does a little bit of world building with the Necronomicon's origins, and we get characters that show up that are tied to it. And it kind of wraps everybody into like a nice little bow, a nice little package. And so I think that's pretty much the plot without spoilers. And if you haven't seen this, definitely go see it. Even if, honest to God, like this movie isn't for everyone. But it is, I think everyone can have fun watching this movie at some point or another. Yeah. I think for some people it might be a little exhausting because it is just like slapstick bit after bit after bit.
Yeah.
But it's all done so well, filmmaking wise, and also the performance. Like Bruce Campbell is just incredible. I mean, doing all of his own stunts and everything. I mean, he's smashing plates over his head. His hand gets possessed, and he's beating himself up and throwing himself over himself, and it's just incredible. It really is. It's like I think it's easy to forget that this isn't just a one-man show through the whole thing because all of his kind of shticky performances are like what really sells everything for me, and it's the parts that I remember the most.
Yeah, I mean, look at any search engine online and find type in Evil Dead on the GIF. It's going to be Bruce Campbell saying groovy a lot, fighting his hand a lot. It's like a theater thing where you're trained. One of the exercises that they're called Lotsies, where your hand is possessed. You fight your hand. It's basically it's mime work, and it's just having to this weighs 1,000 pounds. Your hand's trying to choke you, and it's just such a insane scene. Now, if anyone's coming into 2, if anyone hasn't watched Evil Dead 2 because they watched Evil Dead 1, and it's not their cup of tea, and it's just too much, and it's too gross. Sam Raimi was brought up on we mentioned before a video nasty list, and it was too much, and he doesn't like horror movies anyway, and it was just extreme, and it was just a mean movie. I disagree. I think it's beautiful. So then Evil Dead 2 is almost like he's like going, I didn't mean it. Let's just have fun.
Yeah.
And so they just made like, for my money, it's not the first horror comedy, but it's the first I always call like splat stick. And I didn't make the name up. It's one of those things I've read that for years.
Sure.
Because it's Looney Tunes. It's Three Stooges. It's a cartoon. It is very much like a Bugs Bunny cartoon where Elmer Fudd gets shot in the face, and then it turns around and literally wipes the black off.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times did Daffy Duck take a shotgun to the face and then just wipe off the and there's a scene there, and that's got to be a joke, where Bruce Campbell is wiping off blood every couple scenes just because we have to get back to his
refresh.
Face. Yeah, refresh. But it's watching again this more, and you mentioned that you watched it with your wife. She loved it. My wife has seen it. She's in that camp where it's like, oh, Evil Dead, the first one is just a lot, and I want to watch it just once in a while. And that's kind of drifted over to 2. So we're watching it today, and she's like going, "This is I think it's delightful." It's a Caitlin.
And then re-say that last sentence. The thing dropped out.
She just described it as being delightful. Evil Dead 2, which is never. Look on the poster; it never says Evil Dead 2, a delightful romp. Because she's walking by, and then all she's hearing is screaming. And she walks in, and it's just things like she'd walk by on the place to the head, and she points out, "Oh, that's sped up," and not like in a condescending way, but she's watching it, and it's just sped up a little bit just to be sillier. And then she points out the crawl across the floor is like she totally believed that the fingers, he's knocked unconscious by his hand goes over and like starts pulling. It's great for an audio podcast. It's pulling his body across the floor, and she just, you totally believe the hand's alive. And it's I don't how they did that.
Yeah, it's almost like he moves like an inchworm, but it's just his fingers.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I don't know, but anyone who's turned off to Evil Dead 2 because Evil Dead 1 should give it a shot
for sure.
Because it's just joyous.
Yeah, and I want to come back. I want to come back to the idea, but I just want to make note here that Kat described this movie as delightful. I don't know if we mentioned it or not on our review of what started this whole Evil Dead romp was Send Help, which we ran into you guys in the theaters when we went and saw that. And I remember Kat described that movie as super cute. And it was about the time where Rachel McAdams is just vomiting all over the other character, just nonstop, over and over and over again. I leaned over to my wife and I was like, "I love that Kat called this movie cute."
Kat has an odd threshold for this, because if it's like, what was it? She'll talk at length about Chainsaw, the original Chainsaw Massacre, about its important stance on vegetarianism in the 70s. And I'm like, it's got a chainsaw. Leatherface is really cool. See, I mean, and she'll discuss about the statement about the
Yeah.
She'll quote the cook, and I'm like, again, Leatherface is cool, and she has better perspective than I do. But her calling Sam Raimi delightful is absolutely in character for her.
Yeah.
When we were discussing Send Help with McAdams, and she's going through all like the workplace dynamics, and I'm going again. She's got a knife and she's going to cut off his balls.
Yeah.
Little more ball cutting off, and don't be so damn smart. I'm supposed to be the one discussing this.
Yeah, for sure. I love that so much. I just love the juxtaposition, because my wife does it too, where it's like her love for Send Help was for like much different reasons, because she's like, oh, I've been that person, in those situations before. And for me, I'm like, oh, I like it when the eyes hurt. But anyways, as you were saying, just because you don't like the first one doesn't mean that you should be turned off from the second. And I think we talked off camera. We want to introduce a new segment here where I've asked my mother if she would watch the movies with us, not with us physically, but within the week that we watch them, and just give her hot take. Eventually, no, that'll never happen. But here, a little segment here. I'm trying to find the natural way of doing this, which is not talking about how I'm trying to do that, but that's what I've done. The devil made my mom view it. Yeah, we gotta come. We gotta make a stinger. So what I've done is I've asked my mom to watch the movie ahead of time and to give me her feedback. And I think this is a good transition. It would have been if I could do it in a good way, because I think she probably would have hated the first one. She has not seen any of these original ones. She saw the remake. She may have seen Rise. I don't know. I watched the remake with her when I was in high school. And she loved that. But she has never seen the first one. And she was a little concerned, like, oh, should I watch that first? I was like, I think you could just jump into the second.
Yeah, you don't need to. It's not required.
Yeah. And I think she probably would have hated the first one. She loved this movie. She was texting me the whole time she was watching it, asking me what I got her into, mostly.
I love it.
So this is her words, unedited. I'm just reading it right off of what she said to me. Some of it's a little harsh, but it's all very my mom coded and very lovely. So she said, I started to watch the movie with hesitation as the acting was a little sketchy. Then as the movie really started to take off, I thought, what in the hell did Jesse ask me to watch? It was so campy and the graphics were awful. But I decided to stick with it, and what I realized is I liked it. I started laughing so hard. Instead of watching it with a critical eye, I decided to just relax and enjoy it. So if you're into campy horror movies from that time frame, you're going to love it. And yeah, I agree for the most part.
Yeah, you're going in analytical, and she's absolutely right. You're going into it, okay, and the acting, Bruce Campbell and Linda. Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm a man and you're a woman. Last time I checked, that's pretty soap opera.
Yeah.
But if you're judging the acting by the time that he's sawing his own hand off, you're not going to be watching the movie anymore. But if you're the bit where he's just, yeah.
And I think this movie's good at that too, at like kind of forcing you to just enjoy it. I remember there was one moment, and I had the thought. I don't even know if I vocalized it or not, but I definitely was like, "What am I thinking right now?" And it's when he just got done stabbing his own hand to the floor, and he grabs a chainsaw that's nearby, and he starts it with his teeth. And I remember thinking, like, "There's no way you could start a chainsaw with your teeth." Then immediately afterwards, I was like, "Wait." But yeah,
so it's possible to have your hand possessed,
right?
And need to stab it to the table. That's all. That's fine with you.
That's totally
unless
cool.
That chainsaw has to be super well maintained. Be able to pull it off with yeah.
But yeah, just as a quick wrap up here, she's very excited to see the next one. Which
good.
Yeah, so I'll switch.
I think you should throw Ash versus Army of Darkness at her. The TV show.
The show, yeah.
It's pretty much as Evil Dead 2, the movie or the series. It's not the original, and it's not the remakes. It is very much Evil Dead 2.
Yeah,
for 3 years, if I remember right.
She
watch that.
She would definitely love that. I'll pitch that to her. We'll see if we can get a review of the series. All right, I'll switch back.
She does all 30 episodes. She gives us a 10-minute. I want all 30 of them reviewed with notes and on a scale.
I'll switch us back to our regularly scheduled program. But yeah, so I think that now's probably a good time to get into spoilers. Not that there's really too much to even really spoil with this movie. It's pretty, I would say it's pretty what you expect the entire time. There's not really any like big twists or anything until the very, very end. If you are really not familiar with the series and you can go into this movie blind, I think that ending would probably blow your mind a little bit. Unfortunately, I did spoil it for my wife because I just assumed that it was like such a known thing.
Such a common,
yeah. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go. Like if you're completely blind to the whole series, you don't know the direction that this third movie takes. Definitely go check it out. Don't let us spoil it for you, because seeing it naturally would be kind of amazing. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. So as of right now, we're going to spoil everything.
Yeah.
But if you've come this far before you push stop to go watch Army of Darkness, I know people that didn't know Army of Darkness was Evil Dead 3.
Oh, okay.
Because when I remember I saw the poster for it in college, like 100 years ago, and I thought, oh, that's nice. Bruce Campbell, he's got more jobs. You know, he wasn't just doing
that's
that.
funny.
And I didn't know that was part 3 until then. I'm like, oh, I feel dumb. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like literally the chainsaw hand should giving it away.
No, that's just Bruce Campbell now. He's like, it's part of his contract and everything he's in now. He's like, I am not going to have a right hand ever again.
Actually, he donated it that wasn't a fake. They couldn't afford special effects. He lobbed it off at the wrist.
And he really did start that chainsaw with his mouth too, which is
again, that's the part you can't believe. I think Evil Dead 2 is, and I'm gonna brag it up. I mean, I'll say how Chainsaw is like the most important movie in 70s cinema as far as what it led to, as far as New Hollywood and whatnot.
Sure.
But honestly, Evil Dead 2 is so important today because without Evil Dead 2, you don't have, because if Raimi hadn't gotten the success of this, he wouldn't have eventually built up to get Spider-Man. He wouldn't be able to get Darkman, all the movies that up to. So without Spider-Man, especially Spider-Man 2, we wouldn't have Marvel today.
Yeah.
Which it could be, you could say good or bad about that. But I mean, I think that a lot of it is based on Spider-Man 2. Mm-hmm. And without Evil Dead 2, you're not going to have, because Peter Jackson has talked at great length how he was just loved Evil Dead 2. Like he had an 8mm copy of it in New Zealand. And that's where we get Bad Taste from, and Meet the Feebles, and especially Dead Alive. I mean, Dead Alive is just a love letter to Evil Dead 2. Have you ever seen Dead Alive?
Is that the video game one?
No, I think it's Dead or Alive. Dead Alive is also known as Brain Dead. It's Peter Jackson. Actually, there's a sound clip in the beginning of the show. I should have probably run that past you first. It is a guy who his mother's bitten by a evil infected monkey, as happens,
sure,
and then turns into a zombie, and then it spreads across the village. It's very much has a feel kind of like Jackson's The Frighteners, but it is so crazy silly. That's got to be coming up. I mean, when I think Peter Jackson, I think Dead Alive, even more than obviously Lord of the Rings, but like above Bad Taste, because Dead Alive is just has the it's kinetic. It's insane. Yeah. And again, to go back, without Evil Dead 2, we don't have Edgar Wright's career, because Edgar Wright is completely a Sam Raimi accolade. I give it to Tarantino also. Just the way he had his films cut is just very much
sure
the energy from Raimi. I mean, Raimi is the real thing. He breathes this stuff. But again, to love this movie, it comes down to, do you love the hand? I don't. And for that goes, I don't think the modern day. This is just me rambling now. The modern day Addams Family, where Thing is a disembodied hand running around, and the TV show Thing, the hand was just out of a box. You never knew, like, is it a mile long arm? It had a body, but then Evil Dead pops up, and it's a cut off hand. And I swear, every time we have every toy at Spirit Halloween, you see the aisle of the disembodied hand. It's Evil Dead too.
Yeah.
The hand popping up and then flipping off his body, himself, and then it makes Bruce Campbell mad. What? Okay, you tried to kill me. I had to cut you off. You ran across the room. Then you flipped me off. Then he shoots at it.
Now I'm offended. Yeah.
Now I'm offended. Yeah. I love this movie so much.
I do love the desperation in his voice. Like, he just decapitated and buried the love of his life, and then immediately afterwards his hand is possessed, and he just goes, "Give me back my hand." He's just so like, I'm over this, man. Like.
Well, and then later on, he's possessed, and then he finds the again aforementioned magnifying glass necklace back in this movie.
Yeah,
and that reminds him of his lost love, and he has a big breakdown, facing with the camera as he's just bellowing in just absolute pain. And I'm like, that's Bruce Campbell going, "Can I have one scene of actual acting?" Yeah. And then Raimi's like, "Yeah, okay, but you're not gonna face the camera. I don't want to see your face do this." So he's like, "My was one moment of actual pathos. Face the wall. I don't care. Beat you up." There's go ahead. No, please, you.
I love the follow up to that as well, where I can't remember her name, the character, the girl that's the daughter of the couple, Annie. She's like trying to decapitate him with an axe, and he's just like, I'm fine, and that goes on for so long because it should.
It should, yeah. And then she's like, yeah, for now, I'm fine.
Yeah.
He walks over to the wall. And the axe comes out right next to him.
Yeah,
and
it's
he's
like,
I'm like,
listen, if I'm Annie, I'm swinging.
Oh yeah.
We've already established that they'll mess with you by just pretending to be okay all of a sudden, because her mom was like calling from the basement too.
And then I love Dead Raimi as the mom.
Oh yeah,
as Henrietta, and it's just such a creep. There's so much to love. This movie is just, there's nothing not to love in this movie. And this is what I really should be using this more than anything else. As far as this is my handshake movie. If you love Evil Dead 2,
sure,
to the point of like, just and then when he cuts his hand off, puts it in a bucket, and then the book he puts on top of it to weight the thing down is a farewell to arms, and the camera stays on it to make sure you see it. There's so many other jokes. But Raimi's like, it just says, get it? It's right there. At the end, you've got Bruce Campbell with his severed hand with a chainsaw mounted to it, which is, again, by now you've all seen this scene. Chainsaw mounted. He's fighting Ted Raimi in a big rubber suit, and they treat it like it's a wrestling match. Yeah, one's a monster, and Campbell has the chainsaw hand. Yeah, and he's just backhanding, and it's and it hits him again, and it's in the corner of his house. I'm like, what is this thing? It's just,
the demon like hulks out at some point. It literally does the Hulkamania, like when Hulk
he's
Hogan
so mad.
he like
ripped.
powers himself up. I was just like, wow, that's incredible. In the performance is crazy, right? The filmmaking in general is just so fun, nonstop. The stop motion is like mind blowing.
This is, again, it's a movie that, I mean, again, who cares about the budget, but whatever, they had enough money to make it, but also the money they were given should not have paid for this. You know, if your budget to the $100 goes some groceries, and then they come back with like the steak and lobster, and like, how'd you get this? Well, we went out back and we caught the lobster ourselves. Well, we gave you money to make the movie to get lobster. Yeah, but I wanted the biggest lobster, so I took the money and I got on a bus and I went to Maine. There's bits in this movie that they should not. There's no. But I love the fact that they did it. There's a bit, and it's stop motion. None of that should exist. There's no way that should work. And then the matte shots where they have that comes up, and it's just, you have Ted Raimi as Henrietta, and then the head extends, and it's not morphing. This is pre-computer, and they have his face, and it's clipped with moving stop motion, and it cuts to the most famous zombie monster alien looking thing. Where it's just all Evil Dead, all Deadites have these giant, cheekbones. Yeah. And it pops up. And I saw that way before I saw the movie. I didn't know what that was from. It's jutting teeth and this giant, it's like a snake skull.
Like sunken eyes.
Sunken eye, yeah. Oh, and Bruce Campbell has his sunken eyes. I'm like, that should be I'm sure that's a tattoo probably about 10,000 times. I don't know why I don't have that one yet. But the stop motion, it's one of those things where because you have Mark Shostrom, who's a genius, Phantasm 2 and then this. And then the guys that became K&B. So you have the makeup is down, but they also bring in the guy that did the stop motion the first one, give him some more time. And it's amazing. It's just like, and then, but my wife pointed out again to blame her for it. When Linda in the beginning has been killed and she digs herself up and begins dancing. And it's just, and again, Kat points out, that's stupidly beautiful. I think she said stupidly beautiful. Yeah. Because it's not fooling anybody. No one's watching Evil Dead 2 and go, oh, is that a documentary that really happened? Right. It's a puppet show. And the marionette of her dancing, there's one bit where she does she pirouettes or pirouettes. She spins, and her head's been cut off before. And then I've seen, every time I watch it, I just love the thought behind it. The head stays still and the body spins. Yeah. And I'm like, that is such, in that case, Tim Burton owes his career.
I was just about to say, we're talking about movies that wouldn't exist without this. I mean, like that. It looks like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you have Tim Burton, and then you have his whole stuff. But yeah, that animation, and then and at the end, it's just a little gleeful when she just jumps off and disappears into the space. It's a beautiful scene. And Kat calling it stupidly. She doesn't mean knocking it down. She's like going, it's so out of place.
Yeah, it has no right to be this beautiful.
No, it has no right. And I just love this. And then there's a shot a minute later where she comes back, and I told this to Kat, okay, this is the level of insanity they do. Bruce Campbell's sitting in a chair, a wooden chair. The Linda's severed head flies into his lap, and then he catches it, turns around, looks at it. You cut down, and it's her looking. The severed head is the actress looking at him in the lap, and he freaks out, and then he throws it again. So they had to cut a hole in the floor, have the chair, and it doesn't. The movie works no matter how it's made or not. But the fact is, they committed, cut a hole in it. He has fake legs. She looks up, says one line, and bites his hand. So they did all that work for like 32 frames, Yeah. And I'm like, I love that. I love that they go that crazy. There's so much stuff like that. There's a bit, and it's a curiosity. There's when Campbell is getting blasted in the face with blood. We've seen it before. we'll see it again, hopefully. But the amount of blood hitting him is like just 500 gallons of blood,
Yeah.
which is a lot of blood. And the way they do it, they're shooting it in like a school. It's closed for the summer, I'm assuming. And he's on a diving board. They built the set sideways in a pool.
Oh,
He's
that's
on a diving board. So when the blood comes pouring down his face and he has to fight it, and you can kind of tell when he's hitting it, he's bouncing a little bit like on a board. And that's insane.
Yeah.
And that's crazy amount of work to have this work. But also halfway through it, the blood, because they wanted it to, goes from red to black.
Mm-hmm.
And again, so they show it coming out of the hole in the wall. It goes from red to black. And then on him, it's black. The amount of work that has to go through because they wanted to have it change color. And there's no plot point about it. They did it because they've never seen it before.
It looks great.
And it makes me love it even more. And it's just insane. And then he gets up, completely doused with blood, wipes it off Bugs Bunny style, and goes about his day,
The part that made me audibly gasp, because I probably had seen it before, but I forgot that it happened, is the mirror bit where he's looking
I
at
love the
himself
mirror
in
bit, yeah.
and then he comes out of the mirror to grab onto himself. And it really does. It looks, I mean, they do it so well. It looks like it's Bruce Campbell looking at his reflection, but in actuality, it must have. I'm assuming, I've never seen behind the scenes, but I'm assuming it was just a stand-in actor in the foreground, and then they're looking at each other through a window. But it's done so well.
And I've seen bigger budgets do the same trick and not do it as well.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you'll see they have to be completely doing the whole Patty Duke thing with their cousins and be in sync. But the thing that I'm always amazed by, and I'm watching it as far as the he's looking in a mirror, he sees himself, and it's actually a mirror because he taps the glass and then he turns and so they make sure that it's his face. If I was doing it and I'm lazy, I would have the wall behind him be just a plain room, right? In the mirror, you see the room behind him, and there's like I want to say that it's a window and it's curtains and it's maybe even the clocks behind him. So that's the mirror and it's a set behind him. And then it's a long scene as he's acting, and they're completely, you don't know because they're both in sync.
Yeah. He
He reaches through, and then you realize that behind the wall, in the cutout wall, is the room in reverse, exactly where it is. And then he goes out again and he taps the glass. So you're like, oh, it's absolutely. It is mathematical.
Yeah.
It is down to exactly where it has to be and again, how long to set that up? You've got only so much time. And again, it doesn't matter what it cost or how much work it was if the movie works, but it makes me love it that much more.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, they're over delivering. Anyone that knocks on it, it's a cheap horror movie. Go to hell. This is absolutely a work of art. You know?
And like you were saying, like they didn't have to have depth in that shot.
No.
But they did. Like you could have moved that scene to the bathroom because that bathroom is very narrow and just have the wall behind him. But no, it's like, no, we're gonna sell this, and the best way to sell it is to make it complex and make it and it just looks great. And the length of the shot, they didn't need to linger on the shot for as long as they did before the reveal, but they do. And it's awesome. It's so, like I said, I audibly gasped. I was like, wow,
and it jumps through. And I imagine seeing that, was it like 84 on a big screen the first time, having no idea. I would, even when I saw this the first time, I knew it was a funnier, I think Fangoria mentioned it's more zany. That was the word from the 80s.
Sure.
But imagine going into this thing expecting The Evil Dead and then getting this. Would it throw you off? Would it be like, okay, I kind of wanted to have my creepy trees. Creepy, pick your way. And then this, and there's a scene. Okay, they do the greatest hits. The mirror bit in 2 is also in 1, but not to the level. It's like I think it's just a murky mirror where you can't see through it. Kind of the same gag. It's sideways stuff. The infamous tree scene from the Evil Dead, which again is not aged the greatest, but as far as showing them going for it, is here. And there's a moment. One of the characters, I got it right here. It is Bobby Joe, which could have been Bonnie Hunt, but no. They got someone else. Goes to the woods, and I'm like, okay, this is. Again, I'm watching this morning. I know it's not the scene from the first one. They hold back, and it's a bunch of reverse shots, and it's very effective because she gets pulled away and dragged to a tree without ever crossing the line of good taste. But there's a moment where she's running through, and then she pauses, and I know it's not intentional, but I swear to God, the actress is going, oh shit, I'm a chick in the woods, an Evil Dead movie. Okay, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Yeah.
And then it
This is not
becomes
where I wanna
funny.
be.
No, this is, oh, I did not need to run outside. But then I love there's a close up, and it's again all the reverse acting. It makes you appreciate what Bruce Campbell does, reverse acting. But because there, I don't even know what shots are reverse because half of that stuff, and he's doing the stuff that's just acting in reverse.
Yeah.
When she's pulled out, and then the veins are going into her face, as they're just pulling out the branches. Mm-hmm. It works. It's all, and it's a close up. So the chainsaw, the ending of Chainsaw with Sally Hardesty and the freak out, is very much framed like that. And I kind of like the movie. I kind of like this movie a lot.
It's pretty good, I would say. It's pretty good. The death of her boyfriend is also incredible. Him getting dragged halfway into the basement, and then just that shower of like bright red blood it's so good. And I love that. I love how long the other character is like trying to save him. But it's like, man, if he's lost this much blood already, I don't think there's much to pull
it's
up.
an impossible amount of blood. There's it's impossible.
Yeah.
And that's why I love it so much. It keeps spraying. And I mean, that's the one thing that the remakes and the new versions don't have that in their favor. They don't get to be silly.
Yeah.
People would look at that and go, wait a minute. Okay, we can handle it. Walking Dead has trained us. They can be possessed. They can be evil. But you can't have a victim have 500 square miles of blood spray out of you. And it just they wouldn't allow it, now.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, the remake does still make good use of a lot of blood near the end.
Oh yeah. Oh, but that's coming from the heavens, so that's okay. That's not. Right. They're never saying that one guy's containing what is 8 ounces.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I just love, and there's that one moment where in the basement, it's Henrietta. It's Annie's mom who's been possessed, and then you find out in a very chilling, not a flashback. They don't have flashbacks. They kind of do. The recording saying I couldn't dismember my wife, but I killed her and I buried her in the fruit cellar. And it's so dramatic. And then she pops up, and then you see the evil Ted Raimi with the makeup on, going nutty. And then there's one bit they cut to, and it's the actress who plays the mother, and she's so sweet.
Yeah.
And I was watching, I'm going, and it doesn't ruin the movie for me by any way. It doesn't take me out of the movie, but then I'm like going, that poor lady did not know what she's in, and she's down there, and it could have been silly, and she could have been like a wink and smile, kind of like in the It movies where that lady, Mrs.
Kirsch.
When Kirsch gets that great scene where she gets to be the crazy lady.
Yeah.
This lady doesn't get any sort of like wink at the camera. She's just sweet, and she sings to her daughter, I really miss you, and I'm so sorry. Can you let me out of here, please? Yeah. And I'm just like, she's getting a performance of like locked in the basement, like a lifetime. This actually happened to this lady.
Sure.
And I just hope she enjoyed it. I hope she's on the theater. I hope she was heralded. Honor up in the shoulders. Oh, she's so good.
Yeah, I like the little nods to I love Sam Raimi and Wes Craven's little back and forth. So it was what's in one of Wes Craven's movies is like a poster in the first Evil Dead. Right?
Wes Craven has a Jaws poster in The Hills Have Eyes, and the reasoning was the Jaws is only a movie. This is real life.
Sure.
And no one's ever compared The Hills Have Eyes to Jaws. Love them both, but no one's never thought that's that.
Yeah.
So Sam Raimi goes, okay, I'm going to put Hills Have Eyes poster. It's torn in half. It's very important to tear the Jaws poster is torn in half. Raimi does it with in The Evil Dead. He has the Hills Have Eyes poster torn in half. And then in The Evil Dead. So then I don't know if they mentioned it back at this point. Wes Craven puts in when Nancy's trying to stay awake. She's watching The Evil Dead on TV on late night, which by the way is the greatest local TV channel ever to have Evil Dead on. So then this one we've got, and it pops up like in two scenes. The Freddy glove is on the wall in the shed and in the basement, I think.
Yep.
So they're saying
it's above the door in the garage area or whatever.
When he's going there to tool shed.
The tool shed, yeah.
And it's there, and I think it's in the basement. He's going through to get the pages out, which is like, Freddy's everywhere. I don't think I went past that. I don't think they had nobody went past that. I wish they had.
Yeah, they should keep going. Oh, I guess they can't anymore, but they should have kept it going. But yeah, I love I always love little stories like that in any like.
Well, the problem with that was when when you find the glove, then you keep watching all the frames. And then someone pointed out, keep watching all the frames. And then one of the parts when the force is chasing Campbell through the house, you can look up and you can see like scaffolding and wires.
Oh, sure.
Because it just catches them going, well, I wouldn't have known if I hadn't been looking for the glove to pop up again.
Right.
You know?
Speaking of that shot, that I think it's probably not really a one continuous shot, but it's edited to look like that, of the thing just chasing Bruce through the cabin, and he like loops around himself. And somehow they're like, I mean, I don't know how he doesn't bang his head on like pipes and stuff, because he's like,
I bet you did. They just didn't use that take.
he's like running backwards while like dodging all this stuff, and the cameraman is, I would love to see footage of that behind the scenes, because it's just crazy, the talent that everybody brought to the table with this movie. Like no one is. I feel like this movie couldn't afford like a misstep from. Even though there are missteps, obviously, no movie's perfect, but like, it's just kind of incredible how, the talent involved in the making of this movie is just, it's mind blowing at times. That's
all production is it's all planned. It's got to be planned.
Yeah.
I don't think anything in here could have been improv. It's got to be like, I know that I think, I don't know if it's the one or two when the force comes at Campbell and goes right into his face, and it's like it takes him out. I think it's in the first one. It's a reverse shot, so it starts off on his face, and then the camera guy runs away from him through the house.
Yeah,
which is really incredible. But it's like so the camera's facing the back direction, and I wonder how many takes that took. And again, there's no video village to look at it. You have to just assume you have the shot, and you have to do it again.
Yeah, you got
and also coming out of scars they had in this movie. But like in this one, they're outside going inside. The shot you're talking about, where the force comes in the backside, make a real joke, through the house, out the front, and into Campbell's face. But then then they remake the first one. If I read it right, the set is in a school, like in the gym, and then the cabin is out in the woods. That's an actual cabin outside, I'm assuming. So there's a cut in there somewhere where they go from the location to the set.
Yeah,
I can't find it, and maybe they built enough of it outside of the place to have it look like the woods. I love the model of the house at the end. I love the trees coming. I always forget that the trees come to life. I'm so big on. I love the giant. I call it a peeled orange monster at the end when it comes up, and it's in the beast made flesh. And it's huge. That's a giant like 6 foot tall
head. His face
head.
is the size of the door.
Oh yeah, and I love the eye. That's such a meaty eyeball, and it's great. And it gets hit. Oh. But then I love the fact that the trees, I always forget, come to life outside, and they're swelling, and they're making the house fall apart. It's a model house, and again, why would you just do? No one's going to fault you for having the cabin you're using. Get a bunch of branches, have them in the shot, and hit the house. This is why he's Sam Raimi, and I'm not. I would be getting a tree branch that already fell down, that I didn't have to cut, that was in the grass. I should have thrown away anyway.
Someone find me a stick.
Someone find me a stick. That one's too heavy. Give me a lighter stick. Got any balsa wood for free? Yeah. My back hurts just thinking about that kind of stuff. But I mean, it's just that extra, and then the entire ending. Okay, now we've already mentioned spoilers. There's a point when the heroes come along. So Ash and his girlfriend are in the house. The Evil Dead shows up. The girlfriend's gone. The family that they were translated to the Necronomicon, that team shows up.
Yeah,
they're eliminated. But in the book, they have the missing pages to Necronomicon that's going to dispel it, and they flash at it really quick. And I always watch it now as being one of the pages is it's very obviously Ash with a chainsaw. This is before he has his chainsaw hand is in it. And I'm like, I've never seen the movie and not, I think my VHS copy as a kid, it was still blurry. Did people sit and go, why the hell does he have a big chainsaw? Because it's very clearly a chainsaw hand,
Yeah.
But then, so at the end of it, this is a spoiler coming up. They have opened a portal to the past, and it's saying that they send the evil away. Ash gets sucked up, 2001 style, which is absolutely 2001. Nice soft like lounge music. It steals a car. It steals the Delta 88. Takes Bruce, throws him in the back in time, and he wakes up and he's in the desert, and it's 1300 AD, surrounded by knights, and another stop motion monster pops up. And then by now he's Bruce the superhero. He's had his moments where he puts on the suit. He's on the costume. He's got the chainsaw hand.
He's got his catchphrases.
He got his one-liners. Yeah. Oh my God. He's powered up, right? I mean, it's even we owe Batman putting his costume on and having the lights hit him in the eyes, and and we have all this the superhero putting it on is this.
Yeah.
I don't think Superman in the Dick Donner has that same we're gonna do it kind of tough guy scene. So then Ash sits up back in 1300 AD, surrounded by the knights who are fighting off it, and then they're saying Deadites. So they know what Deadites are now. Mm-hmm. Grabs the shotgun, and now of course it's a shotgun that he sawed off with the chainsaw, which I'm pretty sure would make it explode. Pulls it out, left-handed, got his chainsaw hand, shoots it. The thing explodes and sparks everywhere. It's a crowd. It's a weird motion for a horror movie. You're going in to watch, Evil Dead, and you come out and you've now watched like the best Conan movie ever.
Yeah.
Blows up, and everyone's screaming. And when I first saw this, I was so surprised. I was so sad by it. All the knights, Sam Raimi as the lead knight. Oh, he sailed it. He sailed it from the Deadites. Hail, hail. And they all have their swords out. And then he's sitting there and he's looking around, and then it pulls back. Again, this is a lot of money on a shot that I'm sure the studio goes, you're being stupid. Yeah. And he goes, no, it's Medieval Dead. Get it? And like, yeah, we get it. But it's still, I love it.
Yeah.
It pulls back all the knights, and there's a castle in the background. I'm guessing the castle's a matte shot. But it's also a moving shot. Someone had to paint it. You've got knights everywhere, and then the last shot is the two hands come up and they block the camera as it goes to black, and it's the end of the movie. Mm. And I'm just like, if that didn't work, that's half your budget just on renting the damn armor.
100%. It is insane the production value in that last
and it's just there's when I do a commercial, I get an extra shot of like, okay, maybe exterior shot. I don't want to come back here tomorrow. Sure. They spent so much time and effort on that last bit because apparently they wanted Evil Dead 2 to be medieval Dead, the Army of Darkness story. Mm-hmm. And then because of the rights and all this kind of stuff, it was like, no, we have to tell the audience Evil Dead was. We have to remind them because the little small film wasn't big enough yet. Let's just do it again. That's why it's not reinventing the wheel. Mm-hmm. And I didn't like Army of Darkness until for like 10 years. I was like, I wanted more of my chainsaw hand guy. I don't want the other thing.
Sure.
But just the fucking balls. We're not on TV anymore. The fucking balls to have that be the end of the movie, because it would have been, because in Army of Darkness they'd have like 4 endings for it because they didn't have the rights they didn't have permission to do certain things. Mm. But to sit there and he's yelling, "Oh no! Oh,
yeah, I love that.
What am I going to just?"
I love that he's not like, it's not like a badass moment for him. Like he's just like, I just want to go home.
Like the car is smashed. I'm like no.
I'm not an action hero. I'm just a guy.
I just my girlfriend Linda, and it's just like you're lost. It's not just you're not just. I mean, I feel that he is lost. Not in the desert. He's lost in. He's surrounded. Yeah. He's like he's 1,000. I bet math. It's 1,300. He's screwed.
It's a long time ago.
Screwed. He's so screwed. I think that in Army of Darkness they kind of do have a cop out when they how they end that.
I don't even know how that movie ends. So.
Oh, you haven't seen that yet?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen Army of Darkness.
Oh, I cannot wait for the next.
It's like Evil Dead 2, where it's like I've seen most of it just through clips and zeitgeist kind of stuff, but I've never sat down and watched it.
Okay. Well, let's have a seat here. Let's just do it right now. We have to figure out which version of that to watch, because there's the bootleg version, there's the theatrical, there's the crowd pleasing version.
Oh, I know the alternative ending where he like sleeps to the apocalypse. There's
the what's the Rip Van Winkle ending?
Yeah.
Well, again, we tried to discuss that on that episode, but oh god, I didn't appreciate that. I didn't know how good I had it until I had no Evil Dead for like 20 years. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so now that you've seen it, so the scenes you knew going in, you probably knew Groovy, the chainsaw hand. Mm-hmm. You probably knew Swallow This.
Yep.
You probably saw all the Deadite footage of floating around.
I had seen pretty much everything stop motion as well.
Oh yeah. You gotta brag about it. Was there a surprise that you hadn't seen her a moment?
I didn't know anything about like the daughter and all that stuff. I knew there were like more characters introduced in this one. I didn't know who they were or what their relation was to the plot. I think it's done so well. I think I mentioned off the top that like I love that everything's kind of packaged in this nice little bow where it's like you get why all these characters are here, but yeah, that surprise wise, I would say that mirror shot really blew my mind.
You mentioned that give you a
Yeah,
whoa.
yeah. That's I know there's other things. I just can't think right now. There's like a million shots happening in my head right now from this movie. But yeah, I think I was surprised a little bit by the lack of like downtime. There's no.
Yeah, it's a run. It starts off running.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess the when the other folks are showing up, there's those kind of are slow.
Sure. Yeah.
But I mean, not slow, but it's like it's not
It's not on turbo mode like the rest of the movie.
I always fall in love with the insane scene. That's a dumb thing to say. The whole freaking movie
when he's losing his mind.
When he's losing his mind, and then the lamp is dancing, and then I don't know why I haven't tried to make a deer head in the wall that looks like a Muppet.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I love the laugh and the sound and all that kind of crazy. But I love how it's all.
I love that the deer looks insane the moment you see it before it even comes to life and starts being wacky. Like it just.
Well, you've seen the actual deer the whole movie, but then like it needs like a couple frames taken off so it can just jump in and be like, wait a minute, that looks fun. Yeah. I love the lamp. Like that's one of those things where when the lamp's bouncing with them, was that planned out? Because it almost looks like Bruce stopped and looks at it, and the lamp goes, "Ah, I gotcha." And then I'm like, I'm an idiot. The lamp isn't acting. That was planned out. It's you know. But I always forget that I love that scene, but I always forget that it ends with him shooting the door.
Yeah.
It's like it goes from being silly. Someone's there, he shoots, and it's just dead quiet.
Well, and I was afraid. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna get real dark now." Did you just kill somebody?
Oh yeah, and he kind of nicked her a little bit.
Yeah.
The scene that I always see pop up is the eyeball scene.
Oh yeah.
When they stomp on the head, and the eye pops. It's the Three Stooges bit. It flies out. It hits Bobby Joe in the mouth, and she has to like sit there and choke on it a little bit. That's the one that I always forget. The rest of the movie that Henriette in the basement is missing an eye.
Oh sure.
The rest of them, I'm always like, what happened to her? Oh, duh. They actually care about continuity all of a sudden.
Yeah.
The movie that'll have like 5 characters become one character, become a different character. But no, it's just I love that. There's nothing not to love about this movie. They're all blind when they're in the makeup, those lenses. They can't see a thing, and I'm like, going, is that bullshit? Because they're all acting. I mean, there's emoting and there's all this kind of stuff. And then there's the one scene where Campbell is he's possessed. He's outside and he reaches through, and he clearly can't see a damn thing. And he does this, and he's almost. Oh, there she is. And they keep it in because it just looks creepy. Okay, that's proof that because some people say, oh, I was up 10 minutes underwater for that scene. No, you weren't. But this one, I believe he was absolutely couldn't see anything. Oh,
yeah.
But just the insane amount of work. It's like when the blonde guy, when he gets possessed and he bites Bobby Joe and then gets her hair in his mouth, and then pulls back and they show him swallowing her hair.
Ugh.
That's a whole dummy head again for one gag that's not even that great of a gag, but I love that they do it. And there's no way to cut it. That had to work. And I'm like, that's a lot. Maybe that's why the guy's a weird haircut because they had to match the dummy.
That's funny.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, I also want to. You mentioned when he shoves the chainsaw in the eyeball and how meaty and gross that is. I want to hand out some more flowers for Sam Raimi because this weekend the newest Resident Evil game came out, and that's another series that owes a lot to this movie.
Yeah.
Just like the giant, gross, pustule stuff getting chainsawed and stuff.
Delightful.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, I mean, he's changed different medias. You know, like video games owe a lot to Resident Evil in general, and Resident Evil owes a lot to him. So it's kind of crazy that. To make art that is so inspiring in so many different ways and in fields. It's just like, it's crazy. This movie is just like, it's such a movie that it's just always been on my radar as like, oh yeah, I'll like that. But it never really, I don't think it really clicked for me how important it was until I sat down and watched it and was like, okay, well, this is like, it feels like he's inventing the wheel and improving upon the wheel 5 or 6 times in the matter of like seconds. Like it's just like he introduces this new thing, like the hand, the disembodied hand running around and stuff. And then it's just like, okay, this is like a cool concept. Now let me do like 8 other things with it with
that exact idea. What else can I do with it? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Renovating it and like now I don't even want to say the word refine because I don't know if at the end it's not a refined thing. It's just a very Sam Raimi thing, and it's just like, and which is better in my opinion. Like, it's just so this movie just like breathes his creativity and everything, and it's just really cool. It's really cool, and I'm excited to see the next one. And
I'm excited to hear you talk about it because there's bits in there. There's a lot of homage, silly stuff, but it's the same thing. I'm trying to boil down what it is. It's not just a camera. It's not a sense of humor. It's not the merging of horror and comedy or bringing in other things. I think the big thing he did, and maybe it's not even he should get credit for it. It's taken the subject. It's taken the filmmaking dead seriously. The movie's not dead serious by anything.
100%.
It's taken what could be just a little genre movie, and without Evil Dead 2, then we get a bunch of and again there's other serious horror movies, but as far as like silly fun in the woods movies, we're gonna get a bunch of Friday 13th clones, or we're gonna get a bunch of sillier. I mean, like it's not even the subject matter. It's not. Because like Night of the Living Dead is beautifully serious, you know, and Chainsaw is serious, and like Black Christmas and Halloween. But it's like these guys taking the craft of it so incredibly committed to it, and the same way Lucas did in Star Wars. I'm trying to think of other guys that they're so invested in it that they can kind of refine filmmaking. Scorsese is so dead serious with certain bits. And I am comparing Evil Dead 2 with Scorsese, and I mean to.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it is the level of like the swimming pool thing. Not only is he going to do it, and he gets the crew to do it, he gets everyone to believe it because they believe in him. And then let's drop a car in the middle of the desert. Sorry, Dad, it's your car. But we're gonna chop his hand off, and like I remember the makeup guys, Nicotero and Berger there, and they read the script, and then like decapitated Linda breaks into the shed. This is on one of the I'm not making this up. I'm not finding deep dive nuggets on the Evil Dead, the making of the commentary with Nicotero, I think. And in the script, Ash is going to go for the chainsaw, pulls back the curtain. There's the outline of the chainsaw. If you've seen the first one, you know the chainsaw is in the shed. So he's going to use that. But then in pops, her decapitated body comes in with the saw, and Nicotero's like, that's going to be horrifying. Oh my, I can't wait. And then he gets there and he gets the storyboards. He goes, it's a Muppet on a skateboard. The guy's on a skateboard on the floor with the Muppet body, with the plastic chainsaw, and he's trying to fight it with the tire iron. He's like, oh, this isn't scary, but on paper it's horrifying. But this is silly. And then he's like, yeah, that's what we're doing. It's like, okay. And he got everyone on board to do this, and it's just a thing of love. It's absolutely a love letter. It's a love letter to filmmaking. I'm surprised this isn't taught more in film school. It really should be. For
sure, yeah. And another on that note of like him, kind of being able to gain trust with the crew, and like like this looks dumb, but you know, let's go with it. It's what he wants. And I think that kind of comes through to the audience too, where he's good at making us trust that, you know, because you could take so many shots from this movie out of context and be like, oh, look at this dumb schlocky horror from the 80s, you know, to someone who's never seen a movie like this before. It's like, oh, the acting is crazy. But when you look at everything as a whole, it really is. It's just like, it's so, I could see someone like a movie snob being broken by this movie, like 5 minutes in, like it just being like, okay, or you know what? I think I might actually just want to have fun right now and enjoy this movie. And then once you get to that point where you're like, oh, I'm along for the ride, I'm having fun, then you can really start to appreciate the art that went into it. And then it kind of like goes full circle where it's like, you know, if you're going in expecting this like high art filmmaking experience or whatever, it's there, you know, it's just under a layer of having a really fun time and being silly and being Looney Tunes a little bit.
It reminds me of, we mentioned Looney Tunes so many times. It's like being at, and saying it's a circus is kind of, you know, hack, but it's like the clowns of the circus when they're doing like the high wire act. And they're being silly, they're being fun, and then they're throwing up, and then they're acting like they fell off the thing. They're on a high wire. One wrong, they practice this down to muscle memory. They know what they're doing. If they fall, they do get hurt. And then have it be like a silly joke of like the 12 the clowns in a car, and then the car explodes, and they have to, like there's hats and stuff falling. I'm trying to think what I've seen, but it is such a craft of doing that. This is what he's doing. It is a silly. You land in a silly spot, but it's dead serious how they got there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And it just, but there's one shot as far as the film snob, it's like a wide, and I can't remember what it was. I remember pointing out that's a really hard shot to get, let alone the fact that you've got a guy covered in blood. And I think it's at a window, and he turns around, and it's Danny Hicks. It's it's Jake, the redneck who gets turned into mist, into spray. He throws the pages down. So it's a wide shot. He takes the pages, puts them in the basement. He turns around. The camera pushes in for a close up, a very, very dramatic line. And now we have to go. And I'm like, it's in a small little cabin. Mm-hmm. It's not a modern day camera, like an autofocus kind of crap. So it's a wide shot. It zooms in on his hand. And so it's got to be measured off. You pull back. It's the wide again, and then he walks into the camera, and it's never out of focus, obviously, and it's not like it's a brightly lit set where it's all in focus. There's a pull in there, and he says it all. I'm like, this is a dramatic scene that could have been just 3 shots. It's kind of like a Spielberg thing. Yeah. I'm going to do it in 1 shot, and I'm going to have it be like three vocal points. And I'm rambling on because I'm just like, that's again more so than the swimming pool. All this work for the shot, and no one's going to notice it. Yeah. It's like I want, it's got to be, I want to see if I can do it. It'll save us. I'll have to prep it for like an hour and a half longer than I'd have to do for like the 3 shots. But it's every time you make it, it's also weird that every time you have a cut in a movie, you're reminding the audience that it's a movie. And subconsciously, if you have a lot of cuts, like, oh, it's a movie, it's like MTV, it's boom, boom, boom. It's a terrible exaggeration. But that's why like found footage, it fools your brain so easy because there's no cuts, and it's just, you believe it's a real life thing. Mm-hmm. No one's gonna believe Evil Dead 2 is real life happening, and he's just like, I'm gonna try and do it. It's like the shot in Jaws where they go on, they board the car in the little boat, go through the whole harbor, and then park, and it's 1 shot because they had nothing else to do that day because the shark's not working. Here it's like Raimi's like, I bet you I can do that too. No one's gonna give a shit, you know. It's just, but here I am like in 2026 going, oh, Sam Raimi, yeah, I love you so much. Because can you please just name a character. Name. I want to be a fake Shemp someday. I'd be a real Shemp someday. Sure. So I guess you liked it. I'm very happy.
Yes. Yeah, I loved it. This is definitely going to be a movie I watch several more times in the next months. I feel like even like I've been thinking about it nonstop. It's just so. I'm trying to come up with like a good analogy because like when it comes to it's like, oh, this might not be your cup of tea, but you should still, even if you're not a big fan, if you're a fan of filmmaking, but not a fan of like campy horror movies, I'd say still give this movie a watch because I think there's a lot, even if, you know, you don't like the coat of paint that's on top, like once you really get into it and look at it as how it was made, it's like you might not be into juggling, but if you saw someone juggling like 12 flaming swords, you know, it's like that's pretty impressive regardless.
I mean, if you don't like him as a filmmaker, it'd be a good movie to watch for the craft because then you're not going to get tied up in the story at all. Sure. You can just watch it and go, oh, I don't care what happens to this guy, but I'm gonna watch how they put it together. Yeah. Just so good. So yeah. Endless things to love. I think my favorite thing, well, no, not my favorite thing, but among my favorite things with this movie, and was true of the first one too, is these podcast episodes are so easy to record because there's so much fun things that I feel like we could talk for another 2 hours and like still come up with shots that, you know, that blew our mind. And I think that for me is the sign of like when I really, really am enjoying a movie, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a breeze to talk about for an hour because the only thing hard is I can't mention where it goes after this. Yeah, we can't get an army and whatnot. This popped up on, oh god, it wasn't this, but the actress who plays Bobby Joe, right? Bobby Joe is a soap opera actress, and she was on General Hospital, so it's always on The Office at work, you know. And they have whatever the storyline walks by and goes, she looks familiar. So I'm sitting there, I'm you know, click it up and go, oh, that's the actress from Evil Dead 2. And the guys in the room are kind of going, no, I'm like, why would I lie about that?
Afraid
we have
so.
I'm like, but I'm like, so we start bragging about it, right? And I love it when an actor or an actress has a 30-year career and done so many things, and the first thing that pops up on IMDb is Evil Dead 2.
Oh yeah.
So I was at work, and remember this big, I don't remember who's in the room, this big long conversation about kind of like this, like you can just talk forever, and it's such a joy to talk about it. And there's no apology. It's not like, I'm sorry, the first one, the trees. It's just like, oh, and then this, and then it's a love letter to the Three Stooges and all this kind of stuff. We could go on. I'm looking forward to. I'm jealous of you. Got to go through all the commentaries now at some point.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking next is the next watch through. I'll definitely have a commentary.
The commentary on, yeah. There's so much on it, and it's just Raimi. There's one where it's Tappert, his co-producer, his producing partner, and Raimi just shit talking Campbell. And it's just, and there's another one with Campbell. I think there's a whole group that they've recorded a bunch over the years. Sure. But that one is the one I would play first because it's just oh, this guy, he was whiny. This little, and they're friendly rude. They're not like any inappropriate rude.
Yeah.
But it's just like, oh, this guy. Okay, I hit him in the face once with a branch. He lost one tooth. He's got a mouthful of teeth. There's like 31 left in there. Okay.
Yeah, I think I almost want to see a commentary track where they like slow the footage down by half to like really. I feel like they must have to. I mean, they've recorded. I'm sure he's watched this movie while recording himself talking over it a million times. But I would like. I feel like if I made this movie and then was gonna do commentary over it, I'd have to like talk a mile a minute because I'd want to like talk about everything in every shot, and there's just so much happening so fast in this movie that
something going on. You have to have two commentary tracks like A and B to play it. Just hit the movie again,
right?
In the beginning. Oh
man. But yeah, so next week we're gonna be talking about Army of Darkness, which I'm so excited for. And
it'll be the theatrical version. Let's go with that ending.
Okay.
That's probably the easiest one to find too. So
sure.
As far as anyone having a comment, I would love to hear when people first saw Evil Dead 2.
Oh yeah.
And what drew you to it? Was it because you knew the first one? If it was, like I was saying before, I knew it was a sillier version because of Fangoria had mentioned it, like in the review column. I want to find the person out there who went in thinking it was going to be a continuation of the Evil Dead, and then were they happy with it being silly? Were they let down by it? Where does it fall in the? I think we might have a rank when we're done with Evil Dead or this deep dive. We might have to have an episode of a ranking for us.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, for sure.
I will. So keep in mind if people are watching, I would love to hear where they put Evil Dead 2 in their ranking. And for this one, this is the one that made for me Bruce Campbell a legend. I mean, the first one he's great. Burn Notice and other stuff and like the Xena movie, the shows. But he's great in Army of Darkness, which you're going to see soon. It's okay. Calm down. Talk to myself, not you. He is, and like all of his TV shows. But this is the one where I'm like, he is a movie star in a movie that doesn't need a movie star. He's got the Chuck Connors lines. He's doing the Chuck Connors spin. That's what I want to hear for comments from.
Yeah, I'm really interested to hear from someone who likes the first one and doesn't like this one because I don't know. I'm sure they've
got to be out there. There has to be out there.
It's probably rare.
Just because they're wrong, but yeah.
And if that's you, or if it's not you, and you want to let us know what you think, you can hit us up on all our social medias there at the bottom of the screen at TDMMVI Pod everywhere, and or if you want to email us directly, you can hit us up at tdmmvipod@gmail.com. And yeah, let us know, like Jason said, your rankings. Really, I really want to find someone who doesn't like this movie who likes the first one because that's just the idea of that is interesting to me. But yeah, I think is that pretty much it? Is that?
I think so. I mean,
I know we could keep going, but yeah. Until next week, which is Army of Darkness. I'm Jesse Spitzer,
and I'm Jared Lees.
And this has been the Devil Made Me View It. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks, guys.